What's up, everybody? Shagdog, the Spitter Swallow Beer Review. This is a drinking and thinking spectacular. And it's on a whim, and I'm not scientific, nor have I been trained in any science since I even taken a science class since sophomore, junior year, biology or something. So I am not a scientist. But this is the top 10 ways the world will end. And I actually probably came up with more, actually. So it's going to be more than 10, actually. But I'll try to zip through them as we go, right? Because most of my own you know nothing about anyhow. I can't even give you a 1-word or 6-word sentence about some of these topics. But let's pour that beer first. We're doing a Yuengling Premium out of the can straight to the glass where it's nice and fresh. And I'll try to flip back and forth to the page because I'm reading off of another website. Probably should use my phone, but that's okay. Well, I got the topics on the phone, but okay. Here we go. These are all not in any specific order, although, yeah. First one is man-made climate change, which is a big one. They want to tax us for it. Climate change, you used to call it global warming. Before that, well, we put all we did was just put a hole in the ozone layer, and then it became global warming. Now climate change, because they call it climate change. It's like, well, how come if it's supposed to be global warming, how come it's so fucking cold this year? And they say, oh, it's climate change. Okay, and some experts even say it's things we're doing to make the Earth colder. Actually, so gonna get hot, but then cold. But climate change, all the fossil fuels we're using and trying to switch to electric. Guess what? You need fossil fuels to make electric. Unless you go all solar panels, and that doesn't produce enough electric, I think. And windmills and all that kind of shit. And what's the other? Water mills, yeah. Jammer has great ideas for electricity, though. How about, when you go up to certain stoplights, there's a pressure thing that lets the system know that there's the weight of the cars on there. Light needs a change. How come they can't use something under the roads where, as the motion's going, that friction produces energy, converted into electric? That's free energy right there. Of course, it's not really free because you got to pay for gas to run over it, or the electric, which you have to use coal and other stuff to produce the electric cars. There you go. The electric for the electric cars. Yeah. All right, let's get to the next one. Cyber attack. That's another big one nowadays. They could do the whole thing like that movie with what's her name? Where they cyber attack us, power goes out, they attack the power grid, communications, all that. People are going to starve to death. People are going to be killing each other for goods, stuff like that. So that's another big one that the world can end. Well, of course, that would lead to basically war, even within communities, not just global war, but community wars, savagery. Just like God intended it, hand-to-hand combat. All right. Next one. Not even cyber attack, just any type of environmental disaster. Some of these can cause an environmental death. Some of these other ones can cause an environmental disaster. But you think nuclear winter, giant hurricane. Imagine if a hurricane category 5. Imagine if we get some type of hurricane that goes up to category 7 or 8, and it's bigger than a whole country, like bigger than the U.S. You never know. You never know with this experiment we call Earth. Next one, evolution. Maybe some other species phase us out. Technically, the world wouldn't end, but our world would end. Some other high intelligence Homo sapien comes up around, like we're considered like the Neanderthals about 10,000 years from now, Who knows, right? Or that could be scientifically created too. So Experimental accident. You got that collider thing over there, messing with the laws of nature, doing these experiments. They're messing with Pandora's box. Also, you think even with the atomic bomb, they didn't even know what was going to happen. They thought they might catch the atmosphere on fire when they were testing nuclear bombs and shit. Experimental accident. One of these days, they're going to go too far, and it's going to destroy the world. Sip of a beer first. Hold on. Oh, I got to get that rest of that beer in there. I ain't even taken a sip yet. That's how intense this subject is. And we're actually, I'm not even in my top 10 list. These are just other ones I added on. I was like, oh, I forgot about all these. Or experimental accident. Mineral resource exhaustion and depletion. You figure oil, coal, anything we use for energy, gas, everything depleted. What are you going to use? All you got left is the trees. And if the population we have now, if everybody's using trees for basically fires to keep warm, fires to cook, boy, we're done for. But I think you'd have a war at that point to kill off most of the population. So there'd only be few people here to use those few resources we had left. Yeah. And then this one's a big one. I combined three of them together because they all should go together. AI, nanotechnology, and robotics. You figure you got the AI going. You got nanotechnology, which are small little robots. And then you got robots that are going to be big robots. Okay. They could all be in cahoots with each other, which they probably will be. Not only robotics, nanotechnology being taken over by AI, but also your toaster, your car. Kind of like that movie, Who Made Who, right? What was that called? The song was called Who Made Who by AC/DC, but I forget the name of the movie. Shit. Let's Google that. Google me that. What was the movie that had the AC/DC song Who Made Who? Maximum Overdrive. There you go. Yeah, machines take over, right? That's a possibility. Yeah, AI, nanotechnology. I mean, AI, I don't think, but you got to think the AI we got in these websites and stuff, and they're making pictures and movies or whatever. It looks like the real people, but they can still detect it right now that it's fake. But eventually it's going to be looking so real, nobody's going to know, right? Criminals are going to be using it to get allowed to get the recording thing. Hey, mom, I need help, or whatever the heck they get your voice, whatever. They can do video stuff too and pictures and blackmail you. Yeah, I got you in this picture with a beautiful woman cheating on your wife, and you're like, well, that wasn't me. I don't even know who but they can make those videos with AI. And then, of course, the robots taking over. They all become self-aware AI and robots and little nano. I mean, shit, they got drones that are that big now. Spy drones and stuff. You can have a spy drone in your living room right now, not even know it. They could probably have it even a little spy drone. It has a little needle that big. Shoot it right at you into your brain. I've seen movies like James Bond before. All right. Now, that was like add-ons. Here comes the actual top 10. In no particular order, but I'll just go up the list. Yeah. Big one has been around since the 40s, nuclear war. We got the bomb. And Russia got the bomb. China got the bomb. Of course, I'm sure we shared the technology with England and France, which we should have kept that hush-hush top secret because the Germans were working on the bomb during World War II, but they were missing certain things. They weren't doing something right. So, which the American science, when they found out, by spies or whatever, the Germans weren't doing right, they were really happy. They're like, well, they keep going that way. We'll be good. They'll never develop it. But they were working on it. And eventually they probably would have got it right, or somebody would. But man, what a horrible invention. Nuclear weapons. Horrible. Yeah, I wish the aliens were real and they just took all the nuclear weapons away. But then the U.S. would be even a weaker power, not only with our current political situation and all that, but manpower-wise for military. Yeah. Next one, the world will end. World population, this one is a combine of world population increases along with agricultural crisis. I mean, it might be turning into Soylent Green or something. I think it's Soylent Green right now. What's up with all this plant-based crap? How do we know it's really plants? Soylent Green, scoopers. They might even come out with the scoopers eventually to pick up rioters. I've seen some scooper-looking garbage vehicles in the town I used to live in. I won't mention the town because I think that's the starting point of the scooper program. So, and I pointed out to Jerry. He's like, yeah, you're right. I took a picture of one. I was like, look, man, it's a scooper. Check out the movie Soylent Green. But yeah, you never know. They might have to resort to that, man. It might be not only agricultural crisis, but including, animals and stuff like that. Farmers, if they're going to cut down on producing, stores don't want to be promoting plant-based and all this crap. Well, they're not going to raise as many cattle. And then when the plant-based stuff fails, then there won't be enough cows for anyhow. So we're screwed, dude. We're screwed. All right, next one. Asteroid impact. And it's a big thing. We got some tiny little moon revolving around us right now. It's a little mini moon. You can't even see it with the naked eye. You can't see it with an amateur telescope. You have to have a special telescope. But it's a little asteroid. Supposedly has been here before, back in the 60s. Goes around us for a little while. And then it takes off. See you in 70 years or whatever. And there's another one that was supposed to be here in a few years also. Little mini moons, I call them, little asteroids. But, I mean, they always talk about asteroids impacting us. And how many asteroids have come by, like they only notice it a couple days or a month beforehand. I saw a big one the other day. I'm at work. I'm on break out my car, and I just saw a slight streak. It was low on the horizon. And then I saw a big flash of orange. But then I was waiting for like a blast or something like that. I was like, oh, nothing came. So it must not have been a big one. All right, next one. But asteroid impacts is a big one. All it takes is one big ass asteroid, and the whole world is screwed. Next one is planetary or interstellar collision. A rogue planet, a rogue star comes through our solar system. Not only, even if it doesn't impact us, but it goes by us. That gravity pull, pulling a whole bunch of shit with it, probably have a bunch of asteroids and comets going along with it, especially if it's a star. But even if it came on the far side of the solar system, that would still affect us. Yeah, disastrous. Yeah, so planetary or interstellar collision. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was an old movie from the late 50s. And it was about they discovered a star, rogue star was coming through our solar system. And they find a planet that's inhabitable, which I don't know how the hell they would get there, especially in the 50s. Oh, there's a planet with that star that's inhabitable. That's what it was. So they're planning on the star going by us is going to destroy our world, but that world will still be intact. So they're going to shoot a rocket up, save people, certain select people, to go to this planet that's revolving around the star, and they have to launch at the exact time to do it, And yeah, I mean, for a 50s movie, pretty good actually. I forget what the hell it's called. Forbidden Planet. Was it Forbidden Planet? I don't even know what the hell it was. No, it wasn't Forbidden Planet. Anyhow, look it up. Just type it in info. A gamma ray burst is another one. That's from a distant star explodes or whatever, and we get the gamma ray burst from it, man. Devastated. We'd all melt like wax. That's not a scientific fact, but that's what I'm guessing. All right, and now the next one is just like the movie The Knowing with Nicolas Cage, the sun. What happened if our own sun exploded for some unknown reason? Guess what? We're dead. Our own sun dies out in an instant. Guess what? We're dead. There you go. Next one, extraterrestrial invasion, which is very possible. Although I don't think they're from other planets. I think they're interdimensional beings, mostly demons, some angels. But I think most of the ones that are in ships and stuff are demons. They have enough intelligence to create ships. Yeah. Anywho, whereas God's angels could enter our dimension through dimensional doors from heaven, but the demons have to do it from technological means. Basically, meaning they lost their powers, but they're smart enough for all the advanced technological stuff, most advanced. Are there aliens out there too? Perhaps, but we'll never know. Next one, pandemic. We see it in 2020. It was a big scare, but I think they scared us more than anything. Although certain places, a lot of people died. But I don't even know how many people died in the U.S. But prayers out to all the families lost people from that certain thing. But, survival of the fittest. That's all I got to say. It was your time to go. I caught it. Other people caught it. I got missing part of a lung. I caught it. I survived. I think I even caught it twice. Because I'm not obese, for one thing. I do. That's a certain lung thing I had was one of the things. But I'm not obese, not super unhealthy. So, elderly, obese. A lot of people I know that died were obese. Some hefty people out there, unfortunately. But they were overweight, probably couldn't walk a mile. Guess what? COVID's faster than them. Oh, C word. You know what I meant. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. So anyhow, that wasn't a devastating pandemic as far as the percentage-wise goes. If you get something that's killing like 10%, there's even, I forget which virus it is, it does have a high percentage death rate, 10%, but it's not as contagious as some other things. So that's why I didn't have, what was that, the Arabic flu or something it was called a few years ago. Had a high death rate, but it wasn't as contagious. So only like 100,000 people died from it, 200,000. But pandemic could wipe out the world. Natural climate change. Maybe the Earth moves further, closer to the sun. Who knows? Just natural climate change. That happens. I mean, it's already been proven. We've been through ice ages. We've had a deluge, whether that was caused by global warming at the time or by God. I say it was by God, but to kill the giants and the Nephilim and all that. But natural climate change. Well, it wouldn't be natural if God caused that, but you know what I'm saying. It'd be natural to God, though. All right. Next. This is the last one I got. Volcanism. You think of the super volcano like Yellowstone, other volcanoes. Supposedly our Earth's core reversed Slow down and reverse supposedly articles. I haven't seen it on the news or anything. I just see articles online about it. I don't know how do you tell the Earth core slowed down and reversed? Got somebody down there with a camera, but yeah, you figured if something happened in the core, just like boom, made every type of active volcano, even some extinct volcanoes, just boom. That caused some damage all over the place. There might even be a volcano under your house, and you only know it because it's buried by dirt over the last tens of thousands of years. You know? It's possible. Possibility. Well, that's it. That's Shagdog's doomsday event of the day. It's September 23rd. Tomorrow we'll find out what's going to happen. Some people are nervous. I'm not. If something happens, it happens. It's a amusement park ride. Enjoy it. Yeah, too bad Jammer couldn't join today. But we've had a couple of viewers. I've enjoyed 2 good beers. So my Yuengling is not in the full picture, but that's okay. It's time to go to bed. Well, I'm sore, man. Oh, I tell you. It's my life is now or never. I don't want to live forever. The best part of the song. I just want to live while I'm alive. A lot of people think the best part of that Bon Jovi song is like Frankie said, we did it my way. No. The best part of the song is I don't want to live forever. I just want to live while I'm alive. But I'm not living. This is as good as it gets right here for my living. Well, maybe someday. I think some people are just meant to be slaves. Whether actual slaves, like the old days of slaves from early ancient history to all the way up to the 1800s to today, the sex slave. Supposedly sex slave stuff is very big. And even in our own country, third world countries, all the way up to industrialized countries, there's apparently sex slaves all over. I don't know where they're at. Not that I would condone that or anything. I'm just saying it must be in the big cities, certain sleazy parts of the towns, massage parlors. I don't know. But anyhow, there's a lot of people slaving, whether it's something like that, their job, day in, day out. You're so ravaged by your job that you can't think straight when you get home. Oh, you're just dead tired. You drink a couple of beers, go to sleep, wake up, do it all over again. Your weekend, you're kind of in recovery mode. You kind of feel good on your last day off if you didn't self-medicate yourself the first 2 days, Friday night, Saturday, if you're on the weekends off or whatever. And Sunday, you start to feel good, and then you got to go do the whole shit over again. Yeah, it's a cycle you got to get out of. You need to take a break. Like I've done it before where I just taken a break, said screw it. And then I felt my mind felt free. Not only my body, my mind felt free. And that's without any drugs. And you felt creative. You feel creative. Like you ain't got nothing bearing down on you. The old corporate slave master and all that kind of stuff. Then you look, you're slaving to the grind, and then you see people out there don't work. They got a TikTok video. They make one video a day for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. They're making tens of thousands of dollars. And you're slaving your ass off making dilly squat. But the good news for us is those teeny weeny girls doing TikTok videos, eventually That shit's going to sag. This is going to sag. They're going to run out of money because they're blowing it. I'll be the last one laughing. How about you? Then they'll have to come work with me. Another thing is not even those type of people. You go out somewhere during the daytime, there's so many people not working. They're out there shopping, driving, fast food restaurants on a weekday. Don't tell me they work nights, because I work nights. I'm not out there partying all day, well, especially at my age. I'm talking about people my age. I can see young people could be working nights and having fun all day. I used to do that till about 2, 3, 4. Go home, sleep 4 or 5 hours, go right back to work. But there's people out there every day. You can't tell me. I think only a small percentage of Americans work, actually. And our taxes are going to pay for people who are on disability, welfare, food stamps, immigrants, kids that don't want to pay their college loan, all that type of stuff. It's just amazing. It's amazing how many freeloaders are out there. That's what I'm trying to say. Somebody probably hasn't worked hard in their life, or maybe they did for a year, 2 years, then claimed they had some type of disability. And and disability, it's not like it pays a lot, but still, it's free money. And I'm not saying everybody with disability. People can't walk. Somebody's got both their arms cut off. Blind person. Some of them that are even like that don't even get disability. They still do whatever they can, because they're able to do some special job or whatever. They don't even get disability. But there's some people out there, can still do some type of job, but they're getting disability for something minor. They can sit at a computer and talk on the phone or customer service or something. I don't know. I probably got like 4 or 5 different issues. I could probably get a good doctor. I'd probably get disability. Probably. You got to get a good doctor, though. Now, if I had a little bit of cleavage and a good doctor, I could probably have disability. Although I'm sure that doctor would prefer my cleavage not to have as much hair. Unless she's a female doctor again, of course. Anyhow, I'm just trying to say, man, there's some people who fucking walk through life scot-free. I'm not saying that. Jammer even told me sometimes I come out smelling like roses, some of the situations I put myself in. And I'm not saying I come out smelling like roses. I could, maybe some dandelions or something, I might come out like, not roses, because I'm never that good fortunate. I am fortunate, but I'm not that fortunate as roses. Roses is very fortunate. I'm fortunate, though. But I'd rather, man, there's people out there, shit lands in their laps. Business opportunities or something, a job opportunity lands in their lap, and they, never had that type of job or no experience in it or no college education, and they just know somebody or know somebody that knows somebody, and hey, I got a friend here to do that job, and it's like the easiest job, making like 60, 80,000 a year, hardly doing anything. Or, it's a really good job where you actually have to work, but it's just thrown at you. Where a lot of people don't get stuff thrown at that. And then you get the other part of that is like, well, you got to work for it. Well, some people work for it, but never get it either. So there's always a yin and yang to everything, right? There's people out there that like strive hard, go to school, bust their butt at a certain thing, profession. Even like, I mean, single mothers or some single mothers that have 3 kids, try to put them in daycare, get family members to watch while they go to school and work a job. And I give all props to any single mother like that. Because there's a lot of single mothers that can't do that, don't have family to depend on and stuff like that too. So it's just a messed up world. You heard it here first from Shagdog. Yeah. Another thing is greed. Greed is a big player. Up from the top, the biggest CEOs of corporations, all the way down to the bottom to your lowest worker. Greed and you deserve. There'll be like the sorriest worker that you work with, but thinks he deserves more than anybody else that he works with. And yeah, there's actually some people out there I used to work with. I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but they would steal stuff like printer paper just to say, well, they don't pay me enough, so I'm taking some of this paper. That type of stuff, or stuff like that. I can't even tell you how many people I worked with that actually stole time from companies or stole items. Not that I'm aware that they stole anything big, but just little things like that, like just doing it for the hell of it. Not that they needed it or anything, but just like, I don't care. They don't pay me enough. And it's just printer paper, but still, Xerox paper, whatever. I don't even know what the hell they call it. They even have that these days. I don't know. All right, I better get to bed. It's probably bedtime. Yeah. Bedtime for Bonzo. Thanks for the 1 thumbs up. I'm not sure if that was my mother. But we'll see you on the next one, Spitter Swallow Beer Review. This video didn't turn out as good as I wanted it to, but that's okay. I just wanted to drink a beer and talk about something. So, we'll see you on the next one, Spitter Swallow Beer Review. Believe in the science, folks. Believe in the science.